Thank you, Mary Mugo, Dr. Mary Mugo. It's really nice that you're here. I can see other comrades here, so that is very nice. And Sisi comrades tunaringanga, if I may use those words. Guys, thank you for being here. Let's introduce ourselves in the chat so that we know who's here. You tell us your name, what you do, what you sell, if anything, what you're expecting in this, and if there's any topic you'd want to hear about in the near future. Please do that in the chat. We'll check the data and be able to use it for future webinars. Please remember we have a webinar every Thursday evening at 7 to 8 every single week. And we have topics of interest about sales. We get what our customers want to hear, what our friends want to hear, what our clients want to hear, and we answer the questions that you have. So please put anything you want to hear about sales on the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you sell, and then you never know what we'll come back to you with. Otherwise, karibuni sana to this webinar. Eunice, take it away. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm still smiling at Dr. right?
Yeah.
Dr. you missed a big opportunity. I know, yes, you're a salesperson, but today you missed something. When you're introducing yourself, it's important to let people see you, so that when they Google you, they can find who it is. So you're given 30 seconds and you actually refused to make the best out of it. So I'm just putting you on the spot, or you're driving. All right. So for the sake of all of us, when you this meeting, as Juliana has said, we want to know you. You want to introduce yourself. You don't know when you're called. Please come ready to just show up, show the face. And there's something I like to teach. When you are asked to introduce yourself, or when you go to such a meeting, you want to leave an impression. You want people to remember you. So number one, be prepared to put on your video, just in case you're asked a question, or just in case you want to ask a question. And if nobody asks, just ask a question, look for a question to ask, or just give a comment. And as you're doing this, make sure to say, who are you and how do you help people, okay? Because sales is about helping. So I'm just giving you some tips to do when you show up in, especially online meetings. We normally imagine that because it's online, we miss out the networking factor of online. But as technology keeps, as we continue using technology, you need to borrow what you do offline to online and, make impact. Just always show up, ready to put on your camera and say something, find a reason to just say something. All right. And of course, in the process, don't forget to introduce who you are and how you help people. You never know who is in the room. All right. So we have a commitment that we don't keep you here more than an hour. We just want to, at 8 p.m. to let you go so that you can have your dinner. And those who already had dinner, you can, check your homework with the kids. So that's our commitment. So I just start from there. I would have wanted to see some reasons why you're here. Could you type in the comments in the chat, what are you expecting today? Why did you come? Why did you show up today? Oh, I see. How do you pronounce Bevel? Is it Bevel? I want to set up a consultancy for editing and writing at beginning stages. Awesome. You also sell baked goods. What are baked goods? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you could explain what baked goods are. I was thinking of a bread. Is bread a baked good? Okay, so I'm going to begin. Please type in the chat what you're expecting tonight. And we'll see if we can address it today. If not today, every Thursday we are here, so we can always address those questions next Thursday. So just mark your calendar. Make sure that Thursday you have a date with 20X, and I believe that you will learn something. So today, last week, people said they wanted to learn, or somebody, we had quite a number of topics, but the topic that had majority of the people who requested was, how do I close the deal? So today's topic is becoming a master closer. Please mute your.
Miles deep, even under the ground with limited gear.
Derek, you may need to be checking so that you mute for me. Thank you. Okay. So we've already introduced ourselves. Oh, everybody else introduced themselves apart from me. So I think I need to introduce myself. My name is Eunice Maina Buru, for those who are joining for the first time. I am a sales trainer and coach. And yes, I'm your go-to, coach, sales coach. I'm also the founder of BSmart, if you've heard of BSmart before, an online insurance comparison platform. And 20X was born as a result of a need that we saw, that, when COVID happened, or when there are difficult situations like now, customers were struggling to pay their premiums. And, as if you remember the story of Moses, and when he was called by God, and he was asked, what do you have in your hands? And he said, I just have some, stuff in my hands. So when we looked, what do we have? How can we help our customers be able to make more money so that they're able to afford premium? So we actually started doing some free training. If you remember, those who were there in 2020, we had a challenge, and then we started doing weekly trainings for free. And eventually in 2022, 20X was born as a fully fledged company where, you commit so that you're helped to sell more. So by the end of the session, I want us to just understand what, help versus manipulation. Is sales helping, or is it manipulation? And then we are going to understand what the closing is and why you get some objection. Okay. So I'll just briefly talk about 20X Entrepreneur. 20X Entrepreneur, as the name suggests, actually 20X means 20 times. We believe, and it's our aspiration and our goal, that we help the business owners and sales people to grow their sales or their revenue 20 times in 3 to 5 years. And this is scientifically based. I am a scientist, and majority of the team are actually scientists, as you'll get to know the 20X team. And we believe that, when we say something is a science, it means that you need to do certain things in a certain way to get a certain result. And if you don't get that result, it means there was a problem with the formula. And therefore you need to repeat and do it, make sure that you follow the formula. So 20X Entrepreneur is an aspiration goal that we as a team have for you. But of course, that is our goal for you. What is your goal for yourself? Now, some of you may want to just grow 20%, others 50%, others 200%, others 10 times, others 20 times. It is your goal. So write down how you want to grow. And that is, when you're coming to us, that's what we want to help you become. So 20X Entrepreneur is a sales consultancy company. When we say sales consultancy, is we go beyond training. We want to look at your business and see whether it is structured in a way that you can scale to 20 times. Because growing 20 times, you don't just wake up and find yourself in 20 times. There's a lot of science that need to go into that. So we do a sales audit to just audit your business and see, is it structured in a way that it can scale? In this case, we're looking at, do you have, even other team members, the non-sales team, are their mindset towards sales? What kind of structure? How do you pay them? All of this so that we can help you grow 20 times. Remember, as we're helping the business to grow 20 times, we need to help your employees grow 20 times, because you can't grow 20 times if your employees are not growing 20 times. So that's what sales consultancy is about. Now, once we are sure that you can scale, then this is when we find what are the skill gaps. Then we train. Now, after training, we coach. Now, there's a difference between training and coaching. Training is very important, but it leaves you, what happens is that after training, you're very excited. Like today, you'll be very excited, you'll be very happy, you can close the deal. But then when you go and meet the reality, what you know and then what you do becomes different. So what we do is we design our program such that we are going to walk with you the journey. So it's a journey, and I'll be showing you how we do that later. And then because you need to grow 20 times, some people or some businesses, the struggle is you cannot be able to find the right salespeople. So we recruit for you salespeople, and we recruit and train them for you. Then the other way that we help you grow the 20x is through networking events like Sales Fest Africa. I'm sure some of you have heard about it. It's an annual event that we hold every January. And this January it happened, and people demanded that they want to do a sales fest outside the country. So we are taking people, we are focusing on people in the financial services, people who want to find opportunities in Dubai, people who want to export products in Dubai or to import in Dubai, to go and network in Dubai. Some of them will have an opportunity to be for matchmaking, whereby we connect them with the buyers in Dubai. So, so I've talked about our aspiration, that's our aspiration. So what is sales about? Is it about helping or manipulating? And I would like to hear from some of you. I've told you, when you come to this, when you get such an opportunity, please raise your hand so that you answer the question. Is sales about helping or manipulating? Let me stop sharing so that I see. Jane Rose, do you want to answer?
Sorry, I just joined. If you can, I didn't even hear the question. I just joined now.
Oh, okay. It's because your microphone was unmuted. That's why I asked. You can mute your microphone. What is sales to you? Yes, Mangi Kimani.
Hi everyone. I don't know whether you can hear me. I'm in a bit of a noisy place.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, but to me, I think sales is about it's about helping people to achieve their objectives.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a mutual thing. It's a mutual thing. You're also benefiting, but most importantly is to meet the need of your clients.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mwangi. Yeah, it's about helping. And I want to ask you a question. If your customer knew everything you know about your product, everything, would they still buy? Let me see. You can put it in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and your answer. If your customers knew everything. Oops, what am I doing? If your customer knew everything about your product or about your service, everything that you know, would they buy? Just raise your hand or type in the chat. Yes, Jennifer, go ahead.
I believe if they knew everything about who you are, there would be that skeptic and boredom to who you are really. So I believe there has to be that secrecy or that momentum of also keeping back to who you really are. And then, yeah, I believe, I don't know if I'm saying the right thing, but yeah, I'm not in sales myself. So I
What do you
write, I'm
do?
a writer. I'm a
Okay.
magazine writer and I'm
Let me just
aspiring.
repeat something that I shared. Sorry, go ahead, Jennifer.
I'm not in sales, but I just talked to one of your colleagues and told me I am in sales, and I'm a good writer and aspiring to have my own magazines coming out to Africa.
Jennifer, you're in sales. How would you? I mean, you can, if you can't persuade people, if you're not helping people, then what are you doing? Because sales is about helping. It's about persuading people to be able to make a decision. What does your writing do?
It inspires people, yes, it does.
Yes. Actually, everyone is always selling. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how good you are at it. It's not that you are not in sales. It's how good are you at selling. Now, just picture this. You have to, I mean, if you're a child, now there's no child here, but even children have to sell their parents so that they get pocket money, isn't it? If you're a parent, you have to sell the idea that school is a good idea and help your children actually want to go to school. That is selling. If you're looking for a job, how do you won't get a job if you're not presenting yourself in a way that you're wanted. So you have to make people want to work with you. That is selling. So you can see we are all selling. The difference is some are excelling in selling, others are not. And why are some not excelling? Because we're not aware that we are in selling. Okay. So I'm still at that question. Would your customers buy if they knew everything you know about your product or about your service? Would they buy?
Did I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's important for anyone to understand that people don't buy because they know your product. They buy because your product is giving them a solution to their problem. People buy solutions, people buy value. They don't just buy your product for the sake of it. So knowing is one thing, but the product solving the problem is another. Thank you.
Okay. And when I ask if they knew everything, it includes if they knew the value, if they knew everything, that's what I mean. Would they still buy? Daktari.
You know, Eunice, I'm of the opinion that the reason why I've been a salesman for many years, so the reason why, and I also train in sales, by the way. So I'm of the opinion that people, organizations have salespeople because their product on their own are not moving. Otherwise, if your product is known and people know your value, then you just need an order taker. Just people to take orders, not to sell. Because selling, basically, you're saying that I need to persuade you to buy my product. Secondly, unless you're monopoly like Kenya Power, I may know everything about your product, but there are many other people who are competing with you. So you need to be there. You need to be what we call, you need to be at the top of my mind that if I need a solution, this is the product I want to go for. Otherwise, if you're not in the mind of the consumer, you're not in the eyes of the consumer at every time they think about solving their problem, then they may know you, but they will remember you when they have already done the purchase.
Okay. So if, and this is where we draw the line between helping and manipulate. If your customers knew everything, you know, like if you had time with your customer to take them through from the beginning, why you created this product, all this information and even they get to know you, if they knew everything and they still don't buy, then you're most likely manipulating or deceiving them. Okay? Why? Because, yes, because you see what you know, the information that you have, if you could use it and customers want to get it, then it means that that product is helpful to them, okay? Now, when we talk about sales, it's about helping your customers to use their logical brain to make decisions, okay? Remember, this is my belief that people want to believe you and people want to buy from you, but you must be able to help them justify why they're buying, okay? So every time when you're thinking about sales, you must think, why should anyone buy? Why should they get it? What is in it for them? Remember, everyone listens to one FM, which we call, what is in it for me? And even you listen to the same. So are they going to buy because they are related to you? Are they going to buy because they know you? Are they going to buy because, why? What is the reason that they need to buy from you? So you must help them make that decision. And when they make that decision, they need to be so happy that they made that decision. Have you seen a situation whereby you have bought something and then you go home and you're like, oh my God, that was a bad, why did I buy this? Anyone who has gone through that? Where you bought something, you have bought, but then you go feeling like, how did I even buy it? I didn't want to buy it. Anyone? Let me see. Have you experienced it, Brenda? What did you feel? Now you as a person, because all of you are here because you want to learn how to sell, but you have been buying. Have you bought a product or a service and you're like, oh God, I should have used my money differently? Anyone who has felt that?
Yes, I have.
What happened? What did you buy?
I bought one of these buckets for mopping the house. And it was, I reached home and it was so complicated, so hectic. It was so terrible. And I spent a whole 3,000 and I was like, what did I just do? I actually put it in the dumpster the next day for the garbage guys.
Wow.
I didn't. It was just a terrible feeling, left a bad taste in my mouth.
And most likely it's because somebody really manipulated you to getting it.
Yes, actually it was manipulation. Good thing, it was dry, it was everything that I wanted to hear.
Yeah, because when you sell, when you manipulate, when you're convincing, you know, because people say that, you know, I need to convince people. Please, selling is not about convincing people. Because when you're convincing, that is manipulation. You want to manipulate people to get your product. But if you're genuinely, you know, genuinely interested in helping people, you will actually tell them there's a challenge in using this bucket. And you will show them how they can use it so that they don't struggle. But you see, for you, it's hit and run. You want to close the deal and go away. Okay? So that's the difference between helping and manipulating. So when you are helping, you want to make the buyer make the decision, you know, justify the buying, you know, to tell themselves, I am happy, I am buying it. And even after, you want them to feel good about their decision. That is what selling is about. So those who are saying they're not in sales, are you now in sales? And the other thing is that you need to remember that you can only build trust if you genuinely want to help. Remember, we are human beings, all of us here. And you can sense when somebody is either manipulating you or just want to get attention, isn't it? And you can also sense when someone is deeply, you know, just interested in helping you get what you want, because they will go out of their way. You can even feel it. So selling is not manipulating. Selling is not convincing. Selling is about building trust and helping your customers make decisions that they're happy to live with. Can you imagine if you sell land and then you've convinced someone to buy land and then they're like, oh my God, they didn't tell me that this place flooded, because you just wanted to make the deal. And imagine if you told them, and this is why I was asking that question, if you told your customer everything about your product, would they buy it? If you told them that that place flooded, would they still buy? If you're selling insurance, if you told them that they will lose money in case they don't pay their premiums, would they still buy? That's what I mean. If you told your customers,
is this not?
Yeah, everything about your product, if they won't buy it, then it means you're manipulating them. That's the way you measure whether you're manipulating or you're helping. If you told your customers that when they take this loan, in case of, a 1 month default, you're likely to auction them, will they still take the loan? I'm asking you, please type in the chat. I want this to be very interactive. And if they won't, then just know that you are manipulating, you're convincing. And you see, being a good convincer is not being a good salesperson. And I know this is against what you were taught when I was starting my career in selling. I was taught to convince. But over time, the more I've sold, the more I've realized it's not convincing. I started my career, as a insurance sales agent, life insurance. And when I started telling my customers, even the parts that are not very, very nice for them to hear, that is when I sold more, because now they understood the product. They understood that I cared about them more than I cared about my product. I want them to make decisions that they're going to be happy living with for the rest of their life, because life insurance is almost a life commitment. Okay. So let's now talk about closing. I wanted to begin by explaining why sales is not manipulating, is not convincing, it is not telling. And I always say that's why introverts make better salespeople. Why? Because they're not consumed with the desire to talk about, the product. They're more interested in listening to the other person, to the customer. So what is this closing? When you say, I want to know how to close the sale, what is closing? What is this about closing? Basically, closing means that the customer wants to buy and they're not only willing to give the check, but they give the check. That is what closing is. That's when we say, have the check. So I'll close the business. And there are several reasons that will cause you not to close. So and that's why I say closing begins at the beginning. It does not begin when you want to pick the check. It begins at the beginning. And it begins from, how did you target? Who is your customer? Did you target the right customer? And who is the right customer, or who is the right prospect for you? It is one who needs your product, they can afford it, and they have the authority to make the decision. Now, if they don't meet those criteria, then it does not matter how much you want to close them. You won't, because if they don't need, you won't close them. If they don't have money and they need, you won't close them. If they don't have the authority, it's like you go to an organization. For those who sell B2B or business to business, you go to an organization, you're thinking, because you're friends with the CEO, you think that the CEO will make a decision and give you business. And you don't know that in that particular organization, as much as the CEO is the final signatory, he's not the decision maker. There are other people who could be very far from him, and maybe just a person who has shown brilliance that the CEO listens to. So if you don't know, you'll go to the CEO forever, but you will not close the deal. Why? He has no authority. So you start from there. That's where closing begins. Then, if you have targeted right, do they trust you? basically, can you build a rapport? Have you built a relationship? Do you understand them? Do you know what they need and how they need it? And then if they do you have a unique value proposition? Why should they choose your product and not the other person? Why should they choose your service and not the other person? Yeah. So just remember, if all these are right, then you should be able to close. The goal of closing is to help someone decide, not just to buy, but to make a decision that, yes, this is what I need to do. That should be your goal. Once you have the first three sorted out, then your goal is to help them make a decision, not necessarily to buy. They may not buy that day, but they may make a decision that, yes, on this date next year, I will buy. Now, you as a salesperson, your power is in your ability to influence. And selling is about influencing people. That's why I normally say, and if you're a politician, please don't crucify me, but you will notice that the politicians who are influential are the ones that are voted, not necessarily because they are better than the others, but they're the ones who have the power. If you can be able to influence people, then you got the power, and that means they will follow. I say that Jesus was the best salesman in the, who lived in the world. You know why? Did you see a place where he was trying to convince anyone to follow them? He would just walk and say, hey, Peter, follow me. And now Peter is wondering, I follow you, I'm a fisherman. Why am I following you? And then you're like, you'll be fishers of men. And then Peter finds himself following. You understand? That's power. And that's what sales is about. That you're so powerful that people want to follow you. You're so influential that they want to follow you. If you look at the crowds that were following Jesus, there's no one place where he took a loudspeaker and started calling, hey, come and listen to me. No. He went about his business, find a sick person here, heals them, find another one who is not walking, he makes them walk. And then before you know it, they're telling each other and they're all following. That for me is what sales is all about. Being so influential that people want to follow and they want you to help them make the decision. And when they come, you want them to be very happy about the decision that they have made. Okay? So I just want to highlight on the value because after that, I will talk about the objections that you get, and then you will ask questions. What value does your product or your service provide? We say that as beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, so is value in the mind of the customer. So when you think about your product or your service, what value does it provide for your customer? Remember, people buy to do something, to achieve something. If it is a service, they want it, they want that service to achieve something. If it's a product, they want it to do something. So people don't just buy because you told them about it. So what value does your service or product provide? And that leads us to talking about the objections. What is this that will make you not close the deal? And it begins with your value proposition. Is it unique? Is your product needed? Is it, can they prove that it works? So I am going to briefly talk about value proposition. A value proposition, many people think that, your vision or your mission is your value proposition. No. A value proposition is just a statement that explains, what the product is, who it is for, how unique it is, and why customers should buy from you. As we say that as beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, so is value in the mind of the customer. That means sometimes you may need to ask your customers, why did they buy from you? those who have bought from you, why do they keep buying? And I say, don't ask yourself. It's good to ask yourself, but verify with your customers. Go and ask them. You have been coming, buying all the time. Why do you buy? Because that's where your value is. And I'll give you an example of Aramis. You all know Aramis, do you? Please type in the chat. I want us to interact. Yeah? Do you all know Aramis? Yes, Jennifer, you still, your hand is still up. Do you want to speak again, or it's just by mistake? Anyone who has used Aramis in the last few hours? You know Aramis, awesome. Now, when I was growing up, I knew that Aramis ni mafuta ya kukamua ng'ombe. It is milking jelly. And I don't know, it used to smell like cow. And when I came to Nairobi, I discovered that it is what people use to apply on their faces and their hands. And like how initially it was like, how do you use that? Now, if the manufacturers do not understand, the value of Aramis, they might start saying, no, we need to rebrand it so that it, it looks like Vaseline, or, we want to change it so that it's no longer the milking jelly. And I think they tried at some point and they didn't succeed. Why? Because value is in the mind of the customer. It's the customer who knows how they use your product. You'll be so surprised if you ask your customers how they use your product and you discover it may be opposite of what you intended it. And that is value. So your value proposition, a unique value proposition, need to meet these three criteria. It must meet a need. When it meets a need and it is unique, and you can prove that it works, either because other people have used it or you've given a demo, then
a few on the waitish. Yeah.
Yeah, that is an automatic conversion or a close. Now, I want to ask you, and you can type this in the chat. If you have a product and the customer does not need it or that service, it is very unique. Actually, they have not seen it. You're the first person to bring it in Kenya or in your country. And you actually can prove that it works because it has worked for other people. But this customer doesn't need it. What objection are you going to get? What would be the answer? So you have this wonderful, unique, innovative, and other people have used it and they are very happy, but your customer does not need it. What will they say? What are they going to say? Let me see in the chat. What is here? I'm waiting. Or should I pick someone to say? You can raise your hand and unmute yourself and tell us. What are they going to say? So your customer doesn't need the product. Mwangi Kimani says, a good product indeed, but I don't need it. Wanza says, they can tell me that they don't know about it, however good it may look. Yes. Not knowing, they know about it, but they don't need it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you will get an objection that I don't need it. Who told you I need it? Sometimes you get those calls from people and they're saying, no, we're giving loans. And you're like, who told you I want loans? You get. So you'll get an objection that I don't need it. Others, because Kenyans are very polite, by the way, and they don't give you proper feedback. So what they will tell you, let me think about it. Can we talk about it next year? Okay, I'll learn more. I'll ask, I need to consult further. Have you had those kind of objections? They're just telling you, hey, my friend, I don't need it. Okay. Others, you find the customer needs it, but your product is not unique. And it actually works. What kind of objections are you going to get? Please put it in the chat. Yeah. What will you hear? What words are you going to hear? Your product is not unique. It is actually needed. You can, there are many people who have used it. You even have testimonials, but it's not unique. Everybody else is selling the same product. What objection? Jennifer says too expensive. Brenda says too expensive. It's not what we're looking for. I already have one. You get into what we call the price objection. Is where you're like, why is it so expensive? Why is it, why is it not like the one? Is it not like the one I saw with so and so? So you get into a price objection. And unfortunately, this objection doesn't benefit anyone, especially not even the competitors, because you get into a race to the bottom, whereby everybody is just selling price. We are the cheapest, because your product, you can't differentiate your product. And it's not because you don't have something to differentiate your product. It's because you've not done the work to find out what value do my customers get from my product, so that you use that as your differentiator. And the other one is where you have the customer needs it. It's very unique, actually, very innovative, but it's actually new in the market. So there's no proof, what objection do you get? Let me see the chat. What do you get? Yeah, this is the price objection. So tell me about the other one. You can't prove, it's like you can't substantiate it. What objection do you get? This is where they say, is there anyone who is using it? Can I have a demo? Basically they're saying, yes, I need it and I like it, but I need more. Tell me more. Now, we say that people do not change their mind. They make new decisions based on new information. So what happens is that when this happens, it is important that you provide more information. It will be helpful if you could do a demo, or you could give, a sample if it's possible, or you get testimonials from people who have utilized the product. So these are some of the reasons why you don't close. So you can see closing is not closing in itself. It's a journey. It's how you begin and your value. Just some beliefs that I hold is that it's good to handle all obstacles before you ask for the sale. What I mean by obstacles is, the reasons why somebody may not buy. For example, if they don't need it, then please don't target people who don't need it. You can be able to, if you ask the right questions. The Bible says that my people do not receive because they do not ask. And when they ask wrongly. So if you ask the right questions, you will know whether somebody needs it or not. Ask so that you get rid of the obstacles in advance before you ask for the check. And the other belief is become a coach. Even if you're selling, kama unauza hizi chupa, be the person to help. A coach helps their coaches to succeed. So you want to explain to me how to use the bottle. You want to explain to me, how do I succeed with the product? And in case they have a problem, you want to be the one to help, become the coach. The selling that people used to do those many days, many years ago of, convincing and pushing a sale, those days are gone, because we are living in a, at a time when focus span is so low, the attention span is so low. So the people who stand out are people who are helpers, okay? So always remember, it's not about you. It's not about you. So don't take it personal. Keep the prospects or your customer. Always focus on keeping your prospect, not the sale. Because you can lose the sale, but you don't need to lose your prospect. So they may go somewhere else, but can you keep in touch? Do not lose your prospect. Remember, the competition is high. You lose them, you've lost them for a lifetime. Remember, you're losing their friends and their network. Now, if they object, seek to understand and not to argue. It's not, it's not argument. I always say, sales is not a fight. It's like a dance, cooperate, you know. I would like to learn how to dance salsa because I really enjoy watching people dancing salsa. And I think sales is like that, you know, you just move, you just flow. It's a dance, it's not a fight, okay? And then another belief that I have is that the kingdom of God is for those who are like children. Now you're wondering, what is the relationship between the kingdom of God and sales? You know, children, kids are very curious. So you need to adopt a childlike curiosity. And this, I don't remember who said this and said that you need to accept that you do not know everything and be curious to find out what you don't know. That you need to have that humility to accept that you don't know everything because you actually don't, and have the curiosity to find out what is it that you don't know. So if you think about sales with that curiosity of a child, you will love it, you will enjoy, you will be looking forward to just have interactions with your customer. Just say it's a dance, it's not a fight. Selling is transfer of energy and belief. You see, you can't transfer what you don't have. That's why you need energy, and you need to have a belief system that you transfer to others. Remember, it's influence. So what is this that you're transferring? Ask yourself. So you cannot be a successful salesperson or a successful entrepreneur if you do not dig deep and understand what is this that I believe in, because that's what you'll be transferring, okay? People who close, they ask hard questions because they genuinely care. You want to ask questions that will help your customer even be able to have clarity of mind to make the decision. Now, the person who cares most is the one who wins the deals, okay? Now, finally, always plan for and expect a no, because it should not be a surprise that somebody said no. It should be expected. When somebody says no, it's not a failure. Turn that on to the next customer, because that is, in sales, that is a possibility. And it's not a possibility. It's like death and tax. You know, they say, their accountants here who normally tell us that there are only two sure thing in life, death and tax. I want to add the third one, no. Be comfortable with taking no as an answer, all right? Remember, 10% will never buy from you, so don't focus on them. 80% need help in deciding, and that's why you're here, because there's 80% of the people out there, they just need your help to help them decide, to make a decision, okay? Now, there is another 10% that does not need you. They will buy especially if you're not there. Basically, you're the obstacle. You're the reason why they will not buy. So again, forget about those ones. We're here because of the 80% who need your help. Okay, so just to say, I think I have a few minutes. How many minutes do I have? Would you give me just 10 extra minutes, please? I finish this. So, but we know that it's easier said than done. Okay. You know why? Because there's always the gap between what you know and what you do. If what you know is what you do, believe it or not, you'll not be here this evening. You're here because you know so much about sales. You know so much about your business, but you do not do it. This evening I had a conversation with someone who was telling me, I actually know what you're just telling me. But he doesn't do it, you get. So knowing is one thing, doing is the other. And that is the gap that we at 20X fill in. We help you do, we help you make sales. Today, you have known some few new things, not because they are new, it's just because you did not know them, but they are available for free everywhere. Whatever I've just shared, you will find it for free. But we know doing is where the work is. And that's our unique value proposition. We help you do. Okay, we work with you to ensure that you grow to be a 20x entrepreneur. So what next? I'm inviting you to join a 21-day sales challenge. You notice that our programs are designed that we do not train you and you go. We want to train you and watch you grow. And so 21 days sales challenge it's actually designed to help you adopt a belief system, a mindset that makes you become the salesperson that can keep attracting more and more customers. So what we are seeing is that we have one student, I don't know whether she's here, who joined us the class for last week, but that class is ending tomorrow. And when she joined, she was doing X amount of sales per month. That amount she's doing X plus 10,000 per week. That is in a span of, that was last week, that's what she has been able to achieve. From the time we began, she's now doing X plus 10,000 per week, yet she was doing X in a month. Okay, if you struggle with the maths, I'm sorry, but what that means is that if she was selling, for example, 10,000 per month, now she's able to do 20,000 per week. Why? There's no magic that we did. All we did is to work with her to change her belief system, her mindset, and adopt some behaviors that make her the salesperson that she needs to become. And why do we do this? I have been a salesperson for many years. I have done it. Remember, my background is science. I have documented that science, and that's what we share with you, and you get results, all right? Then after that, there's the 12 weeks accelerator. These are now 12 weeks. What we do, we just want you to achieve at least 2 times, just double your monthly sales. But what we are seeing is that people are doing 17%, and you can check that. We have some testimonials on our YouTube channel, 20X Entrepreneurs channel. Please watch those testimonials, follow us, comment, ask questions on that channel, and we will respond. If you have a topic you want us to discuss on a Thursday, you can put it there and we will consider it. So what we do with 12 weeks is that we compress time. We compress time and say that we are creating a 12 weeks year, and we focus on accountability. We want to keep you accountable. We train you, but you have to do. And so you're accountable. Accountability means you own your actions and your results. And this daily training and coaching, that does not mean you come to class daily, but we have an e-learning platform where every day you just log in and learn for 5 to 10 minutes maximum. And every day there are actions for you to do. And then every week you come and report and say, hey, I tried this, it didn't work, and we help you cross that bridge. Our expected result is that you do 2 to 4 times your monthly sales. Okay. And finally, we have the Leaders Mastermind. Leaders Mastermind is whereby it's for only business owners. It's not for everyone. Why? Because what we realize is that many business owners lose their salespeople, not because salespeople cannot perform, but because you hire a salesperson and you imagine that they know what to do. And so a person could be succeeding at 20X is, a very good salesperson. But when they come to your business, they fail. Why? Because you do not know how to manage them. You do not have the machine that helps the salesperson generate sales daily and consistently. So we have a program for business owners. Okay. And I'll not go into details. It's just to mention, you can chat, you can, I think there are some contacts, our contacts on the chat. Derek, you could share the contacts with Juliana. Please reach out and tell us which program would you like to enroll in. So basically just helping you move from knowing to actually doing, because if you're not here because you don't know. You're here because you know so much and it is not working. So we know the science that makes you work and get it. So it's 8:04. Are there questions? I had requested for 10 more minutes. So we have 6. Or I assumed you already gave me. Please type in the chat if you did. Wanza says, something in me keeps making me come here, yet my time most often is very limited. Wanza, do you want to share what that means? You can unmute. What is this that keeps you coming? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I started the challenge, but I got so many challenges that I did not manage to finish the 5 days. Then what I said is that most of the times I find myself just keep coming back to you. Somehow that means that there's something that is of value in this 20X that I really would love to know. But then the time.
Wanza,
yes,
please talk to Derek. Yeah,
okay.
You just need to do it. You just need to do it. Yeah.
I'll talk to him. It's only that you see, like now I just rushed out of the chapel to come to listen to this. I've not even gone for supper.
Yes.
And no one knows where I am. I'm just hidden right in my room. So
oh dear.
My time
Let's
is
find a
just...
way. Let's find a way.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, let's find a way. What I would say is when you join any of those challenges, as I said, there's no miracle that we do. It is you who do the miracle. Do you know what Jesus told those who got healed and those who started walking? He said, your faith has made you whole. So it's the same principle that we apply. We can't work with our faith for you. You have to have faith, you have to have belief. And in addition, I think it's James who said, faith without works is dead. So it's not just a belief, it is you need to do the work. What we do is to show you what work will give you the results that you want, at what point. That's what we help you. That's the magic that you do. But work you have to do. As Wanza said, she started a challenge and dropped off. Why? Because she didn't have time. So please find time and focus. You will be so happy. When we are normally so happy when you see people make money. Any other question? Okay, is there any question? Paris cannot hear anything. I'm sorry. I think you need to check your audio, but this recording will be recorded, or rather will be shared. So no worries. Anyone else? So please sign up. Monday, we start 21-day sales challenge. And you need to be part of the team. We really have fun there. We hear a lot of stories. I don't know whether is a lady who came, she didn't have a job. We should have asked her to come. She didn't have a job when she started the 21-day sales challenge. So on that Monday, she's like, I'm here. I don't even know what I'm going to do with the challenge because I don't have a job. And we challenged her to go and find a job. And guess what? On Thursday that week, she got a job. And now following Monday, she was telling us, I got a job and I did 6 sales. You know, very awesome. She's my best. So it works. Why? It works because those who are really committed and they want to do it, they actually make money. So please join the 21 days. If you want the 12 weeks, I would recommend it after the 21 days because it's a building block to what we do at the 21 days. All right, so thank you very much.
Eunice, Jennifer has a hand up.
Okay, Jennifer?
Yes, it's my first day and I've just listened to you and I have to commend you, really. I don't have a question. I don't think I want to ask any question today, but what I've learned today and was completely eye-opening, and I'll be joining you again. Yes, I will.
Awesome. When you are ready with the magazines, please come. so that we help you get them to market.
I will do. I definitely will. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. It was nice spending this 1 hour with you.
Good night.
See you on Thursday. Sometimes.